wanted freedom, adjust the frames, got keys to kingdom, unlocking chains. Sober the podcast, open up your brains. Sober the podcast, let's get it, man.
Welcome back to another episode of Sober the Podcast with your host, Bradley Saxon. And we got a very, very powerful show for you today. We got our man, Roberto Robles in the house. Yes, sir. All the way from
Heriberto.
Heriberto.
It's Heriberto Robles.
Okay. He said it best.
He said it
Yes, sir.
I had to get it right for you guys.
Had to get it right.
AKA Ito.
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 Yeah.
I renamed him when he came here because I'm so country.
That's
Ito.
it.
Say it.
It's Ito.
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 Yeah.
And we call him Ito.
Ito.
Yeah. And
I
so
renamed him accidentally.
So I go back home. I'm so used to it, and I go back home, and I'm like Ito, and they look at me like something's wrong.
Yeah,
with
it
me.
rubbed off
But
on you.
what it is the Georgia in me, you know.
Yeah.
the
for
only
sure.
person who calls him Ito is Missy.
Yeah.
And every time she says it, I'm like, who?
Yeah, we don't know Ito.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So good to have you today, Ito.
Yes, sir.
Excited to hear your story. Excited to hear what Jesus is doing in your life and, you know, what you got going on now, man, because we know that it's our testimony. What does the Bible say in Revelation? That we overcome.
By the power of the blood of the Lamb and the power of
Yeah.
our testimony.
Yeah.
And so I believe today that something you share, man, is going to change the trajectory of somebody's life. I think that's why we're re-recording this episode.
Yeah.
Come on.
Because I think the enemy is absolutely scared that whatever was on that thing,
Yeah.
because I was devastated for days. The listeners don't know that we're re-recording something that we had already recorded. And when they told me that the file was corrupted, I was devastated. And I think I was just devastated because I knew there was something on that thing. You know? And hey, here we are again.
Yes, definitely.
We're making it happen today.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It is
We're
what
gonna
it
go with the
is.
flow. That's right.
It is what it is. I didn't feel like that day, though. I was looking for somebody to fuel this anger at, you know? You ever do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
I kept my mouth shut, though, so I didn't have to make no amends. You know what I mean? But, you know,
He's looking.
even our cameraman's laughing. Got him tripping up in here.
That's right. That's right.
So,
All
you
right.
know, here's one of the ways I learned over the years to share my testimony. We share in a general way what it was like, what happened. You know what I'm saying? What it's like now. That's sort of the framework. But why don't we just, you know, dive into your story and let's just go with the flow. Let's see what the Lord has for us.
All right, man. And so, yeah, man. So, one of the things that's very encouraging in my walk here is the fact that growing up, I had a grandfather who always showed me Christ. He always was there revealing to me the Lord, but he never opened the Bible to me. But I say all that, I jump off with this off rip because it is very important to train up a child in the way that they need to go, that as they get older, they shall not depart from the faith. And so, you know, back in 2015, before 2015, I have been running from 2003 all the way to 2015, in and out of prison, in and out of jail, arrested like 16 or 17 times, been to prison twice. I've been to the harbor. It used to be called the Harbor in Florida. Is now called Baycare. But I've been to the harbor.
It's called what?
Baycare. Baycare.
Like B-A-K-E?
Like Bay. Care.
Oh, Bay.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
Bay
like
Care.
Tampa Bay.
I thought it was bake here. I was like,
It's kind of
what y'all
what it
doing
was.
over there
Yeah.
in Florida? So y'all got a bake here.
And so, well, now it's called Baycare, and
Bay.
I've been in there, and I was trying to get help, and like none of this stuff would help me, and so
It's
like
a detox.
yeah, it's a detox facility.
So it don't talk anything about treatment, spirituality, nothing.
Not really. It's more,
And it's
medical.
more of a conduit too. It's like they get you once you get there, you get detox. They can give you the medication and all this stuff. But now, from the time that I went to where it's at right now, like now it's at the point where there's like a fund that has come in for Pasco County to help the drug addicts and the alcoholics, people with mental issues, that Baycare actually pays pays for people to go to treatment.
Yeah.
And they find they're more like a conduit now.
But it's
like
absolutely important. Wouldn't you guys agree?
Yeah, for sure.
And so for the listeners, Cliff and I are trying to start a detox either in Georgia or South Carolina. So if that's something up your road and you got the money to give us,
Yeah.
we'll do it.
Definitely.
I really
It's-
feel that,
yeah.
bro, because, I mean, that's a part of our community that we're missing.
Yeah.
We don't have a detox in Anderson.
Yeah.
We used to, the one I went to 3 times, but no more, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think it's necessary.
That's crazy. There's not a detox here.
Within 45 miles.
Wow.
The closest one's in Greenville.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and even the one I went to is at least 35 miles in Williamston. So they moved it to the 3rd floor of the Anderson Hospital, but we ain't got none.
Yeah.
So
Well, back home, man, what's happened is like, man, the noise has got real loud, and as the noise got louder, the community, the government, and everything started to get involved. And what's happened is this thing called ASAP Coalition right now, where there's a whole bunch of people that have come together in the community, and they are helping drug addicts and alcoholics
love
get
that.
get the help that they need. Pasco County has been funding this stuff, and so like all this stuff is actually taking off. But before all that took off, like all we had was good coffee.
bro, let me tell you. But the sad thing about it is taking people dying from overdoses of fentanyl for people to finally decide they want to help this epidemic. It's always been an epidemic,
Yeah.
bro,
Yeah,
for
it
years,
is.
Yeah.
you know. But I guess it's taking their family members or somebody they know, you know what I'm saying? Because addiction ain't nothing until it hits your house.
Yeah. Come
Until
on.
it's one of your families, right?
Come on.
But I love what you're saying, because what people are starting to adopt is that addiction is a community problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we need all hands on
Well,
deck.
it affects everything. I mean, it affects the crime rate. It affects the jail population. It affects the hospitals.
Well,
It
if it affects the jail population, then your
everything.
taxes is going to hold people in a jail that ain't criminals, that are sick, that need to get well. So if you take that money and put it towards detox, put it towards getting people well,
Yeah.
then you're not paying taxes for overpopulating prison, and these guys coming out the same.
Yeah. Come on.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I feel like we're preaching already.
Yeah. That's exactly
Well,
what's
it's,
going
if
on.
you were to look at the jail population and see how many of those people are in there that are in there for drug related, I'm not talking about just they were arrested for drugs,
Yeah.
but I mean they were high and did something.
Yeah, for
anything
sure.
related.
It'd be almost
Trying to do
everybody in the
something to
whole
get-
jail.
Yeah.
That was kind of like what my history was. So like I got arrested 16 times, but I guarantee you that 10 out of the 16 times was very petty.
Yeah.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
You know, it was very something, me just trying to get high, me just trying to do something to get high and all this stuff. And so that was the revolving cycle that I was in from 2003 all the way to 2015. It was a constant in and out of jail. Didn't know what was going on. It didn't matter where I went, like nothing, nobody had anything for me. There was no type of treatment. There was no teachings. There was none of that. And if there was, I wasn't paying attention. It did not grab my attention. And so so fast forwarding all the way to 2015, the last time I remember so there was I ended up doing something at Kohl's. I ended up stealing some stuff at Kohl's.
Bro, what'd you steal?
Boy, listen, man, I was a beast. Let me tell y'all
You was
something.
bro, I need to know what it was.
Listen,
He
I
wasn't
was
a
close.
stealer. He was a booster.
Yeah,
The
booster,
jugger
yeah.
Take half.
I was the guy I was the plug of the plug. You feel me?
So they brought it back to you?
No, I would go in there and couldn't nobody move like me. So I had like these walkie-talkies that I would have. I would have
Official,
Bro,
dog.
listen, I'd have people outside watching.
Don't give them no ideas now.
Yeah, no, I'm not. But yeah, don't try this at home. By the way, I done some time behind it, and it's not fun. And so, anyways, I would do stuff like that, and boost and steal and do whatever it is to get high, to get a fix, and so I would get all this stuff, take it to the plug, and the plug would give me what I wanted, and that's
So
what
you
it
didn't
is.
get money for it. You got drugs for
Got
it.
drugs for it. And if I needed a little bit of cash, I would get a little bit of cash, but it was more about drugs.
Yeah, but who needs
And then-
cash when you're
Yeah,
getting
when
high?
you're getting high. Right?
Well, like, and here's
Drugs.
the thing too, dude, is a lot of people like, man, how pathetic.
yeah,
But like, I don't think people really understand, because of the stigma, is that drug addicts are gonna get well.
yeah. Regardless.
They're getting well, bro. And like, I'm not saying that how what they're doing to get the drugs is okay. But I'm just saying, like, there has to become this thing that we understand that an addict is not a bad person trying to get good. They're a sick man trying to get well.
Yeah.
And like, dude, they're getting well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, like, there's just the problem these days is getting well might end up in
And
death.
Yes.
in the ground. Yeah.
It's crazy. I'm glad that I made it past the fentanyl epidemic
yeah, me too.
Me too.
that's going on.
Except for CJ,
Well, I
he-
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I want to make a point too that overdose is the number one leading cause of death amongst adult age males and females. Like, and that's
18
why,
to 45,
like,
number
isn't
one
that-
killer.
like, isn't that crazy? Like, and so that's, that's what we're looking at right now. And I think when guys like us, driven by the power of God, take responsibility for what it is that's going on, we can begin to start offering this type of hope into this arena of death. Like, we're not talking about like we're talking about people just dying,
Yeah.
like just dying. Dude, I had a guy walk up to me after a dinner last night, right downtown here, and me being somebody in recovery and somebody that struggled with drug addiction for years, just have a different compassion and empathy for people, so I don't run the other way, And my wife's like, "Babe, he's about to walk over here." And I was like, bet, like,
That's right.
and he seen me, and he freaking busted a left and came over there to me, and I could not understand one word he was saying. He was probably in some state of psychosis, probably meth-induced psychosis. And at the end of the day, like all I could see was that dude was hurt. Dude was had no hope. He absolutely was powerless to change any of his situation. And best I could do was pray for him and try to give him a little money and hope that he went and got some food with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, like, we just see this probably from a different way because we've struggled with it in our own lives. But people are dying out there. Like, people are dying, and, like, we're tired of burying people.
Yeah.
I think everybody in this room is tired of doing funerals.
Yes.
So we're talking about it. But it is the number one leading cause of death, and that's not okay.
Yeah, and think about this. So in the entire Vietnam War, which lasted several years, from the mid-60s into the early 70s, 50,000 Americans died in the Vietnam War. Over 100,000 are dying now every year. So every year, twice the amount
that died in Vietnam
that died in
from
the
drug
entire Vietnam
addiction.
Americans in the Vietnam War. Twice the amount are dying every single year now from drug overdoses.
And we don't think about it like we think, okay, 100,000 people. Well, you're talking 100,000 families, right? 100,000 mamas lost their sons, 100,000 daddies lost their daughters, or whatever the case
Children.
is. Like, you're talking 100,000 families. And so when we're talking about God and we're talking about the enemy's only after territory. And so, like, I mean, just imagine how much that absolutely causes just devastation in the family aspect of life whenever somebody in your family passes away from something that could have been prevented or something that could have changed or
something that could be treated.
Like, it's not like it was a tragic car accident where something accidentally happened. Like, these people are looking for a way to get well, and the way that they're doing that, if it has anything to do with fentanyl, looks like death. Like, it might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but towards the end of my fentanyl use, it looked like, I'm about to die. So yeah, man, like, it's crazy to see how much the landscape of drug addiction and alcoholism has changed concerning the chemicals being used.
Yeah.
And it's funny you were talking about Pasco County. I think Live PD.
Yeah.
I just thought about that when you said Pasco County. I was like,
You ever
is that-
been on live PD?
No,
Nah,
no.
good, man.
I made it out of that too. And so, like, man, but there is a solution.
Yes, bro.
You know, that's the thing, man. You got to get around some folks that know some things.
Yeah.
And so, like, just to think about all that information that you guys just gave about, Vietnam and the statistics and all of these things and the amount of information that we have access to today. I was thinking about this the other day as I was driving back from Pasco, coming to Georgia. I was thinking about, I looked over to my passenger seat and I got my backpack. And in my backpack, I got all these books. I love books. I love to read books. I love to get into books, all different types of books, whether it's recovery, whether it's the Word of God, whether it's some A.W. Tozer, devotionals, whatever it is, like wherever the Lord leads like that. And it's like we have so much access to so much information, so much knowledge, so much wisdom from people that have been trailblazing the path for us, the John the Baptists that have paved this path for us to walk on, and all it takes is for someone to get a hold of it, to not only just get a hold of it, to internalize it, start walking it out in their own lives, and give these people like that man that walked up to you a solution. A solution.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we live, we lived the problem for so long, that now that God has reconstructed our life and sent us right out to be the solution to these problems, right? Because that's what we are. Like, our purpose is to be a solution to these problems. Like, most of our anointing on this is to help all people, but mainly drug addicts.
Yeah.
Like, that's the deal, bro. Like, I want to be of maximum service to God and the people about me, but I know without a shadow of a doubt, I've been gifted and purposed to help people that have been afflicted with addiction, period.
Yeah.
And any ministry in my life that looks like ministry apart from helping addicts, for me, is no ministry at all. Like, I tried to get away from it, but it chased me,
Come on.
And so, I mean, there's plenty of people out there that have a pain that in God's hand could become the thing that averts death and misery to the sufferer. It may not be this lane,
Yeah.
but God wants to heal you and set you up to become a solution to the thing that almost killed you,
Come on.
And that's what we minister. I mean, you're ministering pain. You're about to tell us how this thing went, but now how God has turned that thing around
Flipped it upside down.
and using it, bro.
Yes,
Like,
definitely.
dude, I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah. And so I, growing up, man, remember going back to my grandfather showing me about the Lord and all that stuff. I was a baseball player growing up. My dreams was to play baseball, everything I did was baseball. And so like I didn't grow up with like this bad background where I was full of drugs and smoking weed, and like that was not my life. That was not the path that I was on. Yeah, my dad, he used to drink and stuff like that. Yeah, I grew up in a family. My family are drug dealers and things like that happened as I was growing. Like I saw some things when I was growing up, and today I understand the stuff that I was internalizing. Today I understand the subconscious mind. I understand the heart, the things that I were downloading at that age that led me to a place of drug and alcohol use from 2003 all the way to 2015. And even after 2015, it was a little like a year after that before things started to really click and really change. But I say all that is because like what my grandfather showed me, what my parents showed me, I was downloading both things. The thing that won though was the power of the Lord. It was the power of Christ. It was the power of what my grandfather showed me. It was my grandfather driving from New Jersey all the way to Florida and saying, "This is my last case of beer and I'm never touching another beer again." That stuck with me. That today it just like I still look back at those times. And so So with all that being said, like my life I had a good life. I had the baseball. I hit a teacher with a tennis ball. That's what turned my life around. I was playing around in the classroom and I hit a teacher with a tennis ball. When I hit this teacher with this tennis ball, I got kicked out. So Corporal Musicaro, Angelo, Pastor Angelo, shout out Pastor Angelo, Worship Life Church in Florida. Before that, he was a school resource officer and he arrested me. He had to arrest me. He didn't want to, but he had to. And
So y'all were just playing, though?
I was playing in the classroom.
But you wouldn't intentionally hit her?
No.
You just throwing it back and forth?
Yeah.
Horse playing?
Yeah, horse playing. And I threw the ball really hard in the classroom. And that joker took a little tail and hit her.
Bro.
I know about the
Bro,
tails,
check
bro.
this out.
Hit the
Listen,
teacher.
before you
Where
go
did it hit her?
in,
Just
In
curious.
the back. She was riding on the on the board.
dude, check this out.
And I hit her in the back.
So I get this ministry
My
opportunity.
mistake.
Bro, I got this ministry opportunity. I'm going out to preach at the church. I'm like, CJ, hey, you want to go with me? Oh, yeah, bet. So we load up, we take off. So it's a youth conference. So we're having to play with the youth before. So we're playing what they call ultimate dodgeball.
Uh-huh.
So I take CJ. I was like, look, man, that kid. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Go
we just,
easy.
Listen, all I know is I seen CJ in slow motion, rear back. And I mean, he slung this thing, and I seen it in slow motion. Bro, it hits the pastor's wife in the side of the face.
And these are like these are like kickballs. Like,
Oh,
that
these
thing
are
had-
those
The
big.
red ones.
Yes.
Bro, I thought he killed it. You could hear it. I was like, where's the exit? I'm not preaching. We're leaving, bro.
Right now.
So it's funny you said that. I mean,
Come off her feet.
Yeah.
bro,
She hit the ground, and I was like, man,
bro.
like I don't know if this is for me.
Yeah, man, I don't know why. when we first did this the first time, none of this stuff was actually coming out. But there's a reason, and I'm thinking the Lord is actually going somewhere with this.
Oh, there's no doubt, bro.
The Lord is going somewhere with this because I hit this teacher with this tennis ball, right? And it when they told me that I could not, that I got kicked out. So I got kicked out of Ridgewood High School, and I ended up going to the school board, in front of the school board. Now I'm on the baseball team, and I'm trying to do something with my life. I'm like, I have dreams of becoming a baseball player. I have dreams of playing for the New York Yankees. Like, I have all these dreams growing up my entire life. And so hit this teacher with the tennis ball. They tell me that I can't play. So I go up in front of the school board. They tell me if I go to Schwettman, which is one of those bad kids schools,
Like
Alternative school.
like a
Alternative schools.
DJJ.
yeah, alternative school. And so if I go there for a month, I can and do good, then I can go to Gulf High School, and I can go to Gulf High, and I can play baseball over there and continue on with life. And so I did that. And when I got to Gulf High School, the week before the season started, they told me that there were some papers that were supposed to be signed from one high school to the other high school, and they never signed the papers, and I wasn't allowed to play.
Oh wow,
And I was crushed.
devastating.
devastating.
I was
Yeah,
crushed.
dude.
And see, there's a whole reason why I'm here. All right, because that moment right there, without the proper tools or the right people that know something around you. Because see, when I went up to my dad and I said, Dad, I can't play baseball. I don't want to go to school no more. My dad's response was, he was hurt too. He was broken too. So his response was like, where's the papers at? Let's sign them. And then he says, you got to become a man. And his definition of becoming a man to the definition of what I know today, becoming a man, are two different things.
Yeah.
Right? And so it started off this path of selling drugs at first.
Did you
know,
sign them?
We signed the papers to get out of school. I dropped out of school.
To get out of school.
Yeah, I dropped out of high school. My
How
senior
old
year.
were you?
My senior year.
Okay.
My senior year. And still to this day, I don't have a high school diploma, but God is so good.
Yeah.
All right. And so I dropped out of high
Stay
school.
stay in school, kids.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, that is definitely not something that you want to do. But at the same
Unless
time,
you want to go to prison for a few times.
Yeah,
and
I
jail
mean-
16 times.
I mean, unless you just want to go down
Before
this path. I
you-
mean, you're more than welcome, but we're
Before
trying to
you-
help you
yeah.
miss these
Yeah,
landmines.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You can get arrested 16 times, go to prison twice, go to rehab a couple of times, and hope that you make it out.
Yeah.
Or you can just stay in school and do the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Listen to podcasts like this, listen to people's testimonies, and just say, because them folks right there went that path, I'm going to walk a different way.
Yeah, I don't have
And
to.
that can happen.
I don't
man.
have to.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that
that's-
can happen, bro.
That's extremely true. And so, man, you know, I dropped out of high school and started off with the selling drugs kind of ordeal. And then from there, it escalated to using, partying, and all this stuff. And in 2004, the house got raided. My buddy Lenny was in the house with me, and when they went to search the house, they didn't find nothing, but they found a razor blade with cocaine residue in it, and I violated probation, and I ended up going to prison. That's what I went to prison for in 2004.
Humbug.
Yeah. And I was 18, 19 years old at the time.
tough.
And that's how it works, man.
That's
Yeah.
tough, bro.
Like that's how it works. You think you skating by and
Yeah.
you doing everything,
Yep.
and I'm not in that little bitty thing.
But you
Shut
can't
up.
cover your tracks. I mean,
can't.
like you watch these Netflix shows and stuff, like, cause you ain't doing what they doing. Like that's a movie.
Yeah.
That's Hollywood. That's like you're not killing 80 people and getting away with it.
Yeah.
Come on.
Like that life leads to death, jail. I mean,
Every time.
it
Yeah.
ends bad. The brick road ends very lonely and bad.
Yeah. And then there's this thing called the grace of God.
Yeah.
You know, and the favor of God, and the love of God, and the mercy of God, like all that moment that I only got caught with the razor blade, what they didn't find really spoke to me. You know, that's what they didn't find, and I ended
Could
up
have
going.
put you under the jail.
Yes. And I went to prison for this cocaine residue. So I'm okay. I'm good. And so I ended up coming out. When I came out of prison the first time, it turned into more about using
Then selling.
than selling.
Yeah.
I became a full-blown drug addict. And at this time, man, I don't know anything about the allergy of the body. I don't know anything about the mental obsession or the spiritual malady. I have no idea. So for the next 10 years, 11 years, 12 years, 13 years, whatever it was, from 2004 to 2015 was in and out, doing the same thing over and over, hearing the question, why do you do this, son? And me having an answer, I don't know. I don't know.
Telling the truth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But most people don't have that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like most people think they know why.
Yeah.
Well, for years they'll give you what seems to be a plausible,
Yeah, a plausible
Reasoning,
alibi.
but
Yeah.
here's the truth concerning the havoc drugs and alcohol caused us. It don't hold it. It don't hold its
hold
weight.
water.
It don't hold its
Yeah.
weight.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you know every time you smoke crack, I mean, every time you drink beer, you're going to smoke crack.
Yeah.
You've been doing this for 10 years.
Come on.
Like, there's no plausible reason to why you would smoke crack or drink beer.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So good.
So you're saying that you, for a while, your answer to that question was, I don't
I
know.
I have no idea. And even, questioning myself, like, why? Like, why am I doing it? Like, why am I constantly going in and out of jail? Why is it that I can go to jail for 4 months at a time, get clean, come back out, and in a week, if that, be another full-blown drug addict all over again, shooting up dope? And like, why? Like, I didn't understand that concept. Why is it that I can go to jail for a couple of months, come out, smoke a blunt, and why can't I just smoke weed?
Bro,
That dog.
I mean,
will
y'all
hunt.
had to be there
Yeah.
at one time. Like,
Yeah.
bro. Like, I remember going detox a couple times with this reservation. I'm smoking weed, cuz.
Yeah, that's it. It's for life.
Like, I mean, for life. I mean, for life,
For
bro.
life, bro.
But, like, dude, I remember being so, I believed that lie. Like, dude, I'm never going to smoke. I'm never going to stop smoking weed.
Yeah.
Bro, it just, I don't know, man.
Nobody was telling us that it was chronic and
Yeah.
progressive.
Yeah.
Nah,
It's chronic.
It's chronic, all right.
It's chronic.
For
Yeah,
sure.
but here's the truth, man. Marijuana is addicting.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean,
there's-
think about how many people would say, "Oh, you're destroying your life with cocaine or heroin," but how many people are stuck in a dead end job because they can't pass a drug test? How many people are walking around because they don't have a car but they smoke every day?
Every
yeah,
day.
yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
It's because they're choosing that addiction,
Yeah.
and they think it's not addictive.
No.
Yeah.
Because it's marijuana.
Yeah.
But bro, I'm telling you, I watched it from a kid till I was a grown adult. Like, I've seen some of my family members do some crazy things just over marijuana, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. And
It's
so,
definitely addictive.
for sure.
But did you ever quit?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
You know, because I'm trying to clarify, because I know
quit.
these listeners be like, bro, these guys are not that happy.
There
They
ain't
got
no
to
way.
still be smoking some,
There ain't no
some
way.
It ain't
bud.
still for life.
Yeah, no,
that's-
it
Yeah.
is not. It was for life at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, there comes a time where all that ends up going away. There's a proper treatment to it. There is a solution, and it's taking care of that spiritual malady.
Yeah.
And everything else just lining up. And so anyways, just in and out of jail. Didn't know why all this stuff was going on, what was happening. My last arrest. This is what saved my life. And I still think about it today. Like, this is what saved my life. And so I used to boost. Remember, I was telling you. So
You never told us what, though.
I clothes, bro. I'd walk in a Dollar General and I would sit here and empty out the whole deodorant case.
Yes, sir. Like secret, like women's secret.
The
like,
whole deodorant case, and
Everything.
we would take that thing, put it in a big old tub, send it to the Cubans in Tampa, and the Cubans in Tampa would send that back to their home. So there was a whole.
I mean, lifetime supply deodorant.
Yeah, and then I got caught
For
So-
what? A couple grams of cocaine?
Yeah, a couple of pills, a couple of Dilatas or something like that.
Oh, dang.
It was
Couple
wild.
K4s
Yeah.
for 50 million deodorants.
Yeah, it was wild. And so, anyways, that's what I was doing. I was boosting meat. I was the plug. I was the plug on the meat. Oh yeah, half price.
I ain't messing with you.
Bro, hey. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I mean,
Steak.
I would work for a Ain't no
One
doubt.
woodworker and one who sells meat.
Listen.
Yeah, on meat plugs.
We ain't getting out of here today.
Yeah, no.
Cut this off, lock the doors, we're going home. I'm done, son. I mean, I'm crying over here.
Yo, bro, you got to think about the things that we do just to sit here and put something in our body to
Yeah.
feel better.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like all we want to do is feel
Ground
better.
meat, chuck,
Bro.
tenderloin. I mean, I got it
Boy,
all.
say you got any of them steaks, bro?
I
You
got it all.
You got any of them steaks hanging around,
Bro,
so-
but that I could see how. I mean, dude, I could see how that could do it, man.
bro? This is what this.
That's
is,
why they come around here in them little refrigerator trunks.
That's right.
They do.
That's right. And so, bro, and it was bringing it in too.
Yes, sir.
That a lot of people look at it, but that's what it was. And at the moment, so my last arrest, I got set up. I got set up by the bail bondsman, and so I was out
So
on
you
bond.
owed him.
All right, so I was out on
You know
bond.
you're doing bad when the bail bondsman sets you up.
All right, look, I got
Bro, we had a Bell's bomb and pick a guy up here. Big black 6'8" dude come out with a gun.
He said, turn around, put your hands on your back. I said, B, we got to go inside.
Bro, I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
The Bell's
He's in.
bondman arrested him.
Yeah, I've seen
On
that. That's
property.
just a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, that's
he was coming to get one.
well, that's kind of what the incident happened with me. And so look how crazy this is. This is all happening. I'm with Jamie's brother,
His wife.
Which we'll
Jamie.
come into. Jamie is his wife today.
my wife today. I'm with Jamie's brother. Don't even know Jamie at the moment. I'm with Jamie's brother when this is happening. And so I'm out on run. I'm on the run. I done ran from the bond and all this stuff, and they've been trying to hit me up. I'm so high and so messed up at this moment that the person that called me was actually the bail bondsman's daughter, and I didn't know that it was the bail bondsman's
And she was
daughter.
setting you up.
She was setting me up, and I had no idea.
Is this the same bail bondsman that I met?
No,
Okay.
no. No, you talking
Okay.
about that's my first bail bondsman. That's the,
We done lost track of the
yeah,
Bell's
that's,
bondman.
yeah, that's the one that got me out when before I caught the little razor blade charge
gotcha.
with residue on it charge.
I mean, what is that? Simple possession? With the
It's
residue?
a violation of probation, possession of
You were on
cocaine,
probation, yeah.
possession of cocaine.
Yeah.
I feel like they'd be
It's not-
looking for a reason.
That's
Yeah, that's what it was. And so, anyways, I end up getting set up. She called me. She said, "Hey, man, if I got someone who wants some meat. If you get this stuff and bring it, we get you hooked up." So I show up. Listen, man.
And it's stolen.
That's
obviously.
stolen. All
yeah,
of
it's
it.
stolen.
I show up, man, and when I walk in this house, the house is dark. This is the moment that changed my life, man.
But did you sense anything went
No,
right?
no, I
was
had no
high. He was
idea.
too
I'm
high.
high. I'm trying to get right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to continue this. I'm coming down.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
trying to
it's
get
time to
back
get-
on that plane.
It's time to go. It's time to go back up.
Yeah, it's time to get up. And so I'm here and I'm walking this, and the house is all dark, and then all of a sudden the lights go on, and here comes the bail bondsman, and it was at that moment like and the lady doesn't even live no more. God rest her soul, Maria. She spoke some life into me, and she's like, you know what? I'm gonna take that meat. I'm going to go ahead and take that meat, and I'm still going to give you what I said that I was going to give you. Then I'm taking you to jail. And so I got high, and I ended up going to jail that day.
What year was that? 2015.
2014 going into 2015.
Yeah.
And so I violated my whole thing. They gave me 1129 in the county. I ended up doing the 1129 February 7th.
What's
Yeah,
1129?
explain that.
All right, so 11 months, 29 days. One more day, you go to prison.
Oh, okay.
So you got
In-
Hold you
the
to
county.
max
In the
of
county.
In the
So a
county.
year
Yeah.
is max. Yeah.
yeah. And so I ended up in February of 2015 is when I got out.
Did you serve that whole 1129?
Yeah, and not the whole thing because I was a trustee. So I would go out into the farm and mess around with the cows.
Got 2 for 1 at the end.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And so, anyways, so I got out. When I got out, man, it wasn't even. I got my job back at 3 Seasons, and my first paycheck, man, went and got high.
What's 3 Seasons?
3 Seasons is a landscaping company.
Oh, okay.
And that's all I knew how to do is cut some. I know how to steal, and I know how to cut some grass. And so, so I ended up getting out. And I got high. Once I got high, I got on the phone with Jamie's with Jamie. It was Tom's sister at the time. She wasn't Jamie yet. And she just started talking to me. And she just started telling me about how much opportunity there was in Augusta, Georgia. How my life can change. And she shared a little bit of her testimony with me and all this stuff. She would send me these pictures of her pastor.
So she didn't live in Florida while y'all were there.
No.
She's in Augusta.
She's in Augusta, Georgia. She done left Florida.
I see.
And so she's in Augusta, Georgia, and she's telling me about this stuff. And I'm slowly getting right back into the same thing all over again. But man, something this time was different. And so my dad had told me, if you come here by like 8:30, you better be here by 8 o'clock. If you don't come here by 8 o'clock, I'm closing the doors.
You ain't coming in.
You ain't coming in. And I was like, my dad ain't never gonna do that to me. You know, he never has.
Yeah.
He never has done that to me. But it was that arrest and then this moment that followed it. Like, God is so good.
Did you get there by 8:30?
Huh? No.
8:32?
No, I got there by it was like 8:20. It was 8 o'clock is the time that he told me I couldn't come. It was like
So,
8:20.
Was the
like,
door locked?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you didn't get in?
No.
He wasn't playing?
No. The doorbell didn't work. None of that was
Yeah,
good.
he
for
went,
him.
He done cut the doorbell off.
Yeah. And so
A
what
lot
happened?
of folks don't realize that's what it takes for
Yeah.
someone to finally get ready to get.
But God
sober.
did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God did that.
But the whole thing has been orchestrated. This whole, from the arrest to going to jail, the moments that I had in jail, there's so much to the story that led to where we're at today. So much. There's so many people that were intertwined in all of it that led to this moment of my dad closing the doors, me going to a hotel room, staying on the phone with Jamie for like 7 hours until the next day her brother came to pick me up. And I knew that at that moment I had to make a decision. I had to change. I cannot keep on putting my grandmother through this stuff. I can't put my dad through this stuff. My daughters are 8 and 12 at the time. They're 19 and 16 now. 19 and 16 going on to 17 and 20 this year. And they're like 12 and 8 at the time. I can't keep on doing this. And so I had that moment where I came to my senses.
Yeah. Came to yourself.
Uh-huh.
I love that part of the prodigal son
Come on.
story because nobody came to him. He came to himself.
Come on. And so I had that moment.
Yeah.
I had that moment, and it just really struck. And so I called my grandma, told my grandma, look, I want to go to Georgia. I need a bus ticket, and I need to go to Georgia. So my grandma was like, okay, if this is what you want to do, then let's go ahead and do it. So I did that, ended up getting high one more time on the bus. I shot up some dope, and I remember hugging my dad. I'm saying all these things because we have to remember that moment, that gift of desperation. That if I can always remember the time that I hugged my dad and I whispered in his ear with tears coming down my eyes to grab the stuff from under the sink and throw it away. If I can always remember that, I'm gonna be okay. Yeah. I'm gonna be okay.
Well, I mean, I didn't know you then, but I've seen pictures and I can see your face. I mean, it's amazing when I say when the grace of God gets involved, you don't look like what you've been through. Like, look, man, there's no doubt. You don't even have to hear you preach. If you look at you, you can tell there's something on you that was not on you then. Yeah. You was a dead man walking, angry. So, I mean, I would have looked at you on the streets and ran from you.
Yeah.
That's how angry you look, bro.
Yeah. Angry, full of hurt, full of pain, broken. It's everyone's fault but mine. It's everyone's fault. It's my dad's fault. It's my stepmom's fault. It's my mom's fault for leaving me and passing away. It's my mom's fault. It's my grandfather's fault, my grandmother's fault, my brother's fault, baby mama's fault, everybody's fault.
Yeah.
And see, that's one of the things people don't often realize when they're shooting us with those lines and we confront them. We're not confronting them from a position of superiority, of looking down on them, saying, don't do that. We're looking at them from a position of, I was there.
Yeah.
And I had to realize that wasn't helpful for me.
Come on. Come on.
Well, I don't think recovery begins until you accept this is my problem.
My problem, my issue.
Yeah.
And it's like you need some folks to show you that. You got to get around some
Like
folks
you
that
never,
are
you
gonna be
can't.
able
It's
to
hard to come to that conclusion on your own.
Yeah, very hard, very hard. And and so at that moment, like I'm broken, I'm crushed, and I just know that this is the only thing that kept me going was if I don't leave Pasco County, Florida, and do something different, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
I'm gonna die, and this is before the whole fentanyl thing. I'm already knowing that I'm gonna die. And I'm never going to be there for my kids. And I'm not going to be dad or father or anything, like a good brother and uncle. I'm not going to be that person. And I didn't want to do that. So I jumped on this bus. I said what I said to my dad, jumped on this bus, and it was a 14-hour drive all the way to Augusta, Georgia, on a bus. And I was high until I got to about 7 hours into the ride, and that thing started to come down. And I started to feel a little bit of the detox and then withdrawal. And then I got to Augusta, Georgia, and it's the first time that I met Jamie face to face. And which was the weirdest thing. Every time I share this part of my testimony, I always think about Christian Mingle. It was like a Christian Mingle moment,
Like now I got a face
Yeah.
with the voice.
Yeah. And so that moment happened. And so I started this path of going to church. I started going to church, to the Building Worship Center. I started going to, any Bible stuff, anything that I could do different. I started to do it. Jamie told me that I had a job with Atlantic Drywall. That this guy was waiting on me. And so I go the next day when I get there, and I tell this guy about me coming, that they know that I'm coming to go get this job. And this guy looks at me and says, I don't know who you are. Now my whole world at this moment is like, I just left Pasco County. I don't know anybody. I don't even know the girl that I'm talking to right now.
And you ain't got no job.
I ain't got no job. I ain't got no way.
Run.
Yes. Now she lying to me too. So it's all about her too. Like, now she lying to me too. And so like all these things were going on in my head. And I remember I had this cross in my hand, and I was sitting in front of this guy, and I had to get honest. And I had to tell him, I am a drug addict. I just got high 14 hours ago. The reason that I'm sweating right now is because I'm detoxing. I'm withdrawing. All I need is a chance. I just need a second chance. I just want to change my life.
Yes, bless him, Lord.
I just want to change my life. It's the moment that I had with Rob. And in that moment, he gave me a chance. And fast forward from that moment on, I kept going to church. Then I started getting a resentment towards the church because I did not want to hear anything that they had to say. They were very judgmental. This is my mindset. Like I'm just now growing into this, and I feel like they're judgmental. They're judging me and my girlfriend who's married.
They're judging me.
They're judging
They're
me.
judging me.
Yeah.
My girlfriend who's married to someone, huh?
Right.
And I got I got all this stuff, all this warfare going on at the moment. And so anyways, I got through that little season, and I just kept going. I kept staying there. I kept going back to church and going back to church.
And if I could just say something into that, because he's not speaking fully into it, but the situation that Jamie was in was with a person that she probably should have never married. And this person was in prison
Yes.
or homeless on the street. And we've tried to help him multiple times. He's one of those that's basically unhelpable. And it was not a position where she's like married to someone who's
Like she's
down
sliding
the
out on
street
him.
working.
Yeah.
It's not like he's
Yeah.
down the street working and they're, both living separate lives. It's like, no, this guy's like off the radar.
Yeah,
for sure.
Jamie,
And she can't get a divorce, and it's like that type of situation.
that type of situation. Jamie's on her way out. She's trying to figure out how to get the divorce going and all this stuff during this time. And then here I come, and all this stuff was going on, and me having a lack of knowledge and other people stuck to a belief system. That's what was going on in this moment. And today, like, I can see the bigger picture. Today, I understand why things were happening the way that they were happening, words that were being said. Like, I understand all of that today, and I'm so grateful for that, and I'm so thankful for that today. But at the moment, it hurt.
Yeah.
At the moment, it sucked. At the moment, I did not want to be in this church no more. I didn't want to go to church no more or anything like that, but I kept going back. And that's where Cliff came in the picture. And this is where it starts to really change. Things start to really drastically change. And
So you would say this is the turning point.
this is the turning point right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the turning point. So at this moment, like, so I'm going to this church. All this stuff is going on. My life is starting to get a little bit better. I'm starting to smell different.
Was because you probably ain't using drugs.
No, I'm
Right.
just smoking and drinking.
Oh,
So
you are
maybe-
smoking and
He
drinking.
just ain't doing. He
He
ain't
ain't
doing the
shooting,
stuff he
though.
was
Yeah,
addicted to.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Like, I found a way to get off drugs, man. I'm drinking and smoking weed.
Yeah.
I got on that little plan. I got on the drinking and smoking weed plan that I was leaning on my own understanding, using the Bible to justify what I was doing.
Bro, I just want to say this. When you you said, "Here I come," this is what I thought. I came in like a wrecking ball. So here's the thing, man. I'd love for y'all to hear more, but you're gonna have to wait a week probably to hear what happened. Right? We've talked about what it was like living independently of God.
Yeah.
Come on.
And let's be honest, man, like his story may not be your story, and his story may be your story. But at the end of the day, we find that any life lived by self-proportion leads to resentment, fear, harms to others, guilt, shame, right?
Yes.
You're built to prison. You don't feel like you're ever going to get out, no hope, right? But God.
And I just want to say there are going to be some people who know someone, or either some people who are listening to this who have only had an experience similar to yours up until this point where
Yeah.
we've stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've not gotten to the point where they've gotten out of it yet. They've not gotten to
No,
the
they're
point where
right in the
they're
middle of
right,
it.
and
Yes,
they
I've
don't
been-
know anything other than what they've just heard. That's been their experience. And I want to encourage you to listen to how he got out of that.
Well, listen, here's the thing. The people are coming back to the next episode because you are armed with the facts about yourself, this solution, and you have been gifted or given the power to help others to the point where your pain has now became the thing that's won the confidence of the man right now probably got dope and a needle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, look, let's be honest, bro. Like, there are people listening to this that ain't in recovery.
Yeah. And another point of view, another perspective is the other side. The grandma and the dad and the baby mama and the kids that are all looking at the person that is struggling, having no idea that this person has a disease, has a problem, that doesn't even know they have a problem,
Yeah, they don't, and they don't know how to help you.
and they
And
don't
they
know.
don't know how to stop.
And they don't know how to stop.
Yeah.
They have no idea how to stop. They've been in and out of prison, going in and out of jails, going in and out of institutions, trying to get help, going to rehab, going to this, going to that, and there is nothing else that they know how to do.
But a locked door in your face
A locked door
Yeah.
started it.
started the whole thing.
Bro, a locked door in your face, getting arrested. Like, sometimes getting arrested is God intervening in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until your parents come in and get you
No,
out.
leave them there.
They
Yeah.
don't understand.
Mama, daddy,
pain.
leave them there. Because here's the number one thing. The first 2 weeks, they're detoxing. They're emotionally a wreck. So don't listen to nothing they say.
Nothing.
They're lying to you.
Yes, definitely.
Like, listen, they're lying to you. Call somebody who is equipped with dealing with this sort of thing and let them be the people that step in your way, step in your place and help your son.
Yeah.
That's right.
Right? Because that's the deal, man. Like, I feel like you need to know that there are people equipped to help with people that are addicted to drugs and alcohol.
That's right.
Let them help.
Letting you walk through it,
Yeah, because I
helping
mean,
you walk through it.
And we say it all the time. Recovery is not for people who need it, it's for people that want it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then how do you get someone to a position where they want it? You have to remove the comforts of life
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
them.
you got to set
And
boundaries.
nothing does that better than jail.
Yeah, no
So
doubt.
if we're trying to get someone to the position where they want help, and the way you do it is remove comfort, why would you take them out of jail?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just it's ignorance, it's lack of knowledge. And so that's what you mean by find some people who understand how to help this and let them direct you in your decision making on what you're going to do with this person who you're trying to get to a place where they want help for themselves.
Well, let me say this. Like, if you're listening to me and you're Jonah running from God using drugs, I mean, Jonah wasn't using drugs, I don't think, but in the similar case, he's running from God, right? Like, throw yourself off the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, your mama's cried enough tears. She don't want to throw you over, just like the settlers didn't want to throw them over because they don't want their blood,
That's so good.
your blood on their hands. So here's what I want to suggest. Throw yourself over.
Yeah.
Pick the phone up, call, ask for help. There's
Yeah.
people in your life you know that can help
Yeah.
you. Like,
Yes.
stop putting this responsibility on your mama and them, your grandmama and them, your baby mama and
Yeah.
them. Like, throw yourself over.
And
And here's the thing, if you don't know how to stop, you're not going to know how to get better.
Yeah.
You have to let other people help you.
you know, my prayer going out through this and this episode right now, as I'm sitting here, just thinking about it, maybe you can have that thought that says, if I don't get right, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
And imagine this,
let
dog.
that be the thing that pushes you.
Imagine this. A lot of times dying sometimes could be a plus for
Yeah,
people like
sure.
us. But imagine that you continue to use, you can't die, and you suffer.
Well, you know, I did an intervention with a girl one time. The family had set it up. I basically popped in there on her, caught her off guard. And I went through everything as far as, you know, you're going to die. You're going to go to jail. You're going to this. And none of those things mattered until I hit this. And I said, do you want peace? Do you want to be happy? Would you like to enjoy waking up?
Yeah.
And it's like the simple things that we, you know,
Take for granted.
yeah, man. It's like you can have a good life.
Yes.
You can. If you're listening to this and your life sucks and you go to sleep and think, I don't want to wake up.
Yes.
I remember being 32 years old and thinking my best days were behind me.
Yeah, me too.
And I would go to bed and I would hope I don't wake up.
Tired.
And
Many
I,
nights.
and it don't have to be that way.
Tired
you
of
can have joy. You can have peace. You can have happiness.
Yeah.
You can have a good life. You can.
Tired of waking up.
But you have to get around some people who know the path.
Yeah.
That's right. Tired of waking up of jumping from couch to couch, you know, wondering what store to walk into to go grab something so that you can feel better. Tired of hurting those kids. Tired of because you have a disease that you have no understanding of, and there is a solution to get you out of it.
Yeah.
There is definitely a solution to get you out of
Oh,
it.
something else I wanted to add that when you're dealing with familial relations or family members and you're part of that family, it's almost impossible to give objective truth, which means like there's so much emotional attachment because you knew them when they were a baby.
Yeah.
You knew them when they were little Johnny. You seen them, you know, having a basketball. Like there's just so much emotional attachment to it, and that's not bad. But what we're trying to get across to you, if it's familial or it's somebody in your family, why don't you get with somebody who can give the situation objective truth and let you know what they can do to help you, and potentially you step out the way and then let those people help you
It's so
in the
good.
situation. Because if not, it's always subjective truth. It's always filtered through emotions, and it's never going to hold water because there's no commitment attached to it.
So good.
Because what you want, the same way, what they want is they want the consequences to go away. You're tired of them taking $20 out your purse. Like you want the damage to stop being done to you. You know, probably more than you really think that you love them.
It's true.
Come on.
You know, there's a reason why when you go and you have surgery, they wheel you through the doors and tell your family to stay out here.
Yeah,
Same thing.
that's good, man.
When them jokers get to cutting on you,
Yeah,
you know, your fear is going to cause you to say and do things.
100%.
Yeah.
So it's like we have the ability to cut through because we're not emotionally attached.
we don't know them like that.
That's
Yeah.
right. Let somebody else's wilderness experience bring you to the promised land
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
addiction doesn't have to have the final say.
Yeah.
No.
But you're going to have to wait till next week to
I
hear
know that's right.
how God intervened in Ito's life
Yes,
and changed
sir.
the trajectory.
I'm
Until
excited.
next time, Sheesh.
Yeah.